Hey there, this is Tichola Podcast episode 308, 5 phrasal verbs for everyday conversations. You read English, you understand English, you've been learning for years, but when it's time to speak, your mind just freezes and the words don't come out. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. My name's Ola and this is Tichola Podcast. I'm here to help you finally speak out loud. This isn't about perfect grammar or fancy vocabulary. This is about your voice, your words, your real English. Welcome back everyone! Today we're going to look at phrasal verbs, but not in the usual way. We're not just memorizing long lists of words. Instead, we're going to study 5 really powerful phrasal verbs. And here's why this is smart. 4 of these phrasal verbs have more than one meaning. Now, from a linguistic point of view, this is exciting. You learn just one little phrase, 2 words together, and suddenly your brain has 2 or 3 doors it can open. That's efficient. One key, many locks. And from a neuro-linguistic perspective, when you connect one phrase to several real-life situations, your memory becomes stronger. Why? Because the brain loves patterns. It doesn't want isolated words, it wants networks. So every time you hear put off, your brain starts building a little map. Oh yes, that's when I delay something. Or, oh, also I can use this when something makes me lose interest. It puts me off. The more connections you make, the faster you remember and the easier it is to use the word in conversations. So think of this lesson as training your brain to be flexible. One phrasal verb, many options. Before we begin, I have to invite you to another live class with me. This time we'll be talking about learning spoken English with YouTube and ChatGPT. I'll show you how I use it in my daily work and other ways to use this powerful combo for free and at home learning and with great results, of course. We're meeting on the 28th of September 2025 at 8:20 p.m. Check out the links below or simply go to teacherola.com/chat and sign up there. Okay, let's learn 5 phrasal verbs perfect for everyday conversations. 1. Bring up. There are 2 meanings of this phrasal verb. The first is to start talking about a topic. Picture this, you're at a family dinner, everyone is eating peacefully, and suddenly your cousin says, "So, what do you think about the election?" Boom, he just brought up politics. Or imagine you're in a meeting at work, everything's going well, but you know there is a problem with deadlines. You take a deep breath and say, "I'm sorry, but I need to bring this up. We're going to be late with the project." That's the perfect moment to use bring up. Listen to these sentences. She always brings up politics at family dinners. I didn't want to bring up the problem, but it was important. Can we not bring up my ex-boyfriend right now, please? Go to the comment section and let me know what are the topics you never bring up. The second meaning of bring up is to raise a child. Someone asks you about your childhood and they say, "Where were you brought up?" Where were you brought up? This means, where did you grow up? Who raised you? And here are some more examples. I was brought up in a small town by the sea. My grandparents brought me up after my parents moved away. It's not easy to bring up kids today. 2. Take up. This time I've got 3 ways to use this one phrasal verb. The first one is to start a new activity or a hobby. Imagine you're chatting with a friend over coffee. She tells you, "I've just taken up running. I run every day," for example. So here's how people use it. Or in January, when everybody is talking about their New Year's resolutions, you can say, I want to take up Pilates this year. 3 more examples. I took up Pilates last year and I love it. He's thinking of taking up Spanish classes in the evening. During the lockdown, many people took up baking bread. Have you taken up a new sport or hobby recently? Let me know in the comments. The second meaning of take up is to use space or time. You're standing in your living room looking at your big ass sofa and you say, this sofa takes up too much space. Or you're talking about your work schedule. Emails take up half of my day. Listen to these examples. This sofa takes up too much space in the living room. Work takes up most of my time. Answering emails takes up a big part of my day. The third meaning of take up is to accept an offer or a challenge. For example, your friend says, hey, I'll buy you lunch if you help me move house. You smile and answer, okay, I'll take you up on that. Or your company offers you training and you accept it, so you take up the offer. I think I'll take up their offer of a free trial. He took up the challenge and ran a marathon. They offered her a new job and she decided to take it up. 3. Put off. Of course, I've got more than one meaning. You guessed it, I've got 2. The first one, to postpone something. Okay, imagine this. You get a message from a friend saying, I'm sorry, I can't meet you today. Can we put it off until next week? That's classic. Or you're talking about your kids' homework and you say to them, don't put it off until Sunday night. Some more examples. We had to put off the meeting until next week. Don't put off your homework until the last minute. She keeps putting off going to the dentist. The second meaning of put off is to make someone dislike something. Imagine this. You step into a restaurant and you're about to take a seat and suddenly you notice a terrible, terrible smell. You don't even sit down. You look at your friend and you say, let's go somewhere else. The smell has put you off eating there. Or you start a new job and your boss is rude. You might say that, honestly, his behavior put me off. It put me off working there. Listen to these. The bad smell put me off the restaurant. His rude comments put me off working there. I was put off by the long queue, so I didn't go in. 4. Come up with. There's just one meaning of the verb I need you to remember and be able to use, and it's to invent something or to invent or to think of an idea, a plan or an excuse. Here's the situation. Here's the sitch. Your team is stuck in a meeting. No one knows what to do. Then one person says, wait, I've come up with an idea. Or your child is late to school and when the teacher asks why, he or she comes up with a great or crazy excuse. More examples. Here we go. She came up with a brilliant idea for the project. We need to come up with a plan before Monday. He came up with a funny excuse for being late. 5. Find out. 2 meanings quite similar. The first is to discover a new piece of information. For instance, your friend says, I found out yesterday that I'm moving to London. Or you're planning to take a train, but then you find out it's cancelled. You have just discovered some new piece of information, and in other words, you got to know about something new. Like in these examples, I just found out that my friend is getting married. We found out the train was cancelled. She found out the truth about him. The second meaning of find out is to check or to investigate something. Let's say you're going on holiday and you don't know when the museum opens. You tell your partner, can you find out the opening hours? Or at work, your boss asks you, find out how much the tickets cost. So you should check it. You have to find it out. Examples. I need to find out what time the shop closes. Can you find out how much the tickets cost? The police are trying to find out who did it. Time to speak some English. Okay, let's go. Listen and repeat, not in your head, not under your breath, but out loud. Say the sentences after me and say them out loud. She always brings up politics at family dinners. It's not easy to bring up kids today. He's thinking of taking up Spanish classes in the evening. Work takes up most of my time. He took up the challenge and ran a marathon. We had to put off the meeting until next week. I was put off by the long queue, so I didn't go in. He came up with a funny excuse for being late. We found out the train was cancelled. I need to find out what time the shop closes. And that's a wrap for today. You've learned 5 powerful phrasal verbs and how to use them in real conversations. I'd love to hear from you. Write a sentence with one of today's phrasal verbs in the comments below. It's a great way to practice. Also, don't forget to sign up for my free live class happening on the 28th of September 2025 at 8:20 p.m. And we'll be talking about learning spoken English with YouTube and ChatGPT. And I'll show you how to get great results from home for free. Check out the link in the description or go to teacherola.com/chat to save your spot. If you found this lesson helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Remember, you can speak English. All it takes is practice, exposure and connection. Stay fearless, take care and say it out loud. I'm your teacher, Teacher Ola, and you are listening to Teacher Ola Podcast on YouTube. Bye for now.